Welcome to the Savvy Podcasting for Entrepreneurs podcast, a place for podcasters to learn what's actually working in the world of podcasting and how to use their podcast to generate consistent leads in their business. I'm your host, Jenny, and I'm so excited you're here.
Hey, Savvies, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. In today's episode, we're diving into a frequently asked question that I have been getting a lot lately. And that question is, do I need to put my podcast episodes on YouTube? So we're going to be answering that question today. So I'm really excited to jump in. So my answer to this question is no, you do not need to be putting your podcast episodes on YouTube by any means, but there can definitely be some benefits to doing so. So I'm going to let you know a couple of those benefits. So the first one is you're able to reach a wider audience. Obviously, not everyone is a podcast listener. So if you put your episodes on YouTube as well, you're going to reach more than just podcast listeners. And yeah, you're just meeting people where they're at, which is really important. The second benefit of putting your show on YouTube is that you get some SEO benefits from doing that, because YouTube is actually owned by Google, and therefore it ranks very well in search because it is a Google product and Google's the number one search engine. So kind of goes hand in hand. So those SEO benefits are really, really important. And then another benefit, and the final benefit, is that it's little effort on your part if you let your podcast host automatically post your audio to YouTube. Now, I will say, I don't know that all podcast hosts allow this. I have used both Libsyn and Buzzsprout for my shows and client shows. I know Libsyn allows you to do this, but Buzzsprout does not. So just keep that in mind. Your host may not allow it, but you can on some platforms have your podcast host automatically post your audio to YouTube. And then it's like a picture of your cover art in the background. There's no video, but that's, very low effort on your part and still gets the YouTube audience. Now, I want to say, if you want to just do your audio posted from your host to YouTube, I want you to just know that you're probably not going to see a massive increase in downloads this way, just because people go to YouTube to watch videos, not just listen. And I wanted to caveat that. But if you want to get the most bang for your buck, it's really best to actually upload your video footage of your episode to YouTube. Obviously, as we know, YouTube is a video platform, so its users are going to prefer video over audio any day of the week. However, I know that not everyone has the time or the budget to outsource video editing, because editing videos is a whole different beast than audio editing. If you can edit audio, you might be able to edit video, but it's going to take way longer just because you have to worry about the actual video footage, not just the audio. Audio is just a lot easier. So my best advice for you, do what you can with the time and the budget that you have. I'm going to say that again. Do what you can with the time and the budget that you have. So if you don't have much time and you can't afford to outsource your video editing, then just auto adding it via your podcast host. If your podcast host offers that, is probably your best option. If you want to go all out, then editing the video content of your episode and optimizing it for YouTube is going to be the more beneficial route. It's going to bring you more listeners, because if you're just posting it automatically, it's not optimized. It's just the audio and the title. There's no description or anything. Maybe it pulls from your podcast description. I'm not quite sure. I don't think it does, though. I'll have to double check on that. But yeah, so it's really all about how much capacity you personally have to make it happen, or if you outsource. So yeah, definitely not a necessity, but it can be useful, especially if you auto post it, just because there's no extra time or money involved to do that. So I'd love to hear from you. Are you currently putting your audio or video on YouTube or considering it? Let me know over at Podcasting for Entrepreneurs on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you, because I feel like more people are moving to video podcasts, which is really interesting. And we're seeing a shift in our agency as well. And we're adding on some video editors and things like that. So I'm curious, what are you thinking, especially going into 2023? Are you going to have a video podcast too, or just stick with audio? Either one works. I'm just curious. So yeah, if you want to check out the show notes for this episode, you can go to savvypodcastingforentrepreneurs.com, and I will see you in the next episode.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast player like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Stitcher, and leave a review. You can find us at savvypodcastingforentrepreneurs.com and on Facebook at Savvy Podcasting for Entrepreneurs and Instagram at Savvy Podcasting. Make sure to join our free Facebook community for podcasters by going to savvypodcastingforentrepreneurs.com/community and join in on the exclusive community just for Savvy Podcasting for Entrepreneurs listeners. I'll see you there.